If you want to see me create a look with my dupes for the Naked Honey palette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and we are going to talk Naked Honey today, but not the palette itself. We are going to be talking about these 9 eyeshadows. I just want to swatch them for you so that you can get a sense of how they match up with the Naked Honey. And nothing more really to say. I will let you know which brand they are all from, and then we will create an eye look with this 9 shadow palette. Now I chose not to do a 12 or 14 pan palette because to me there are only specific signature shadows in the Naked Honey that I felt like were the focal point of the palette, such as that really yellow canary gold, and that others, they very easily are forgotten unless you're actually looking at the palette. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to go from this side to this side as we go along, which is my left to right, and we will see how that looks. So the first one we are going to be swatching is Pearlfection, and that is from the 39A Dare to Create palette. Here we go. So that I see as inner lid, brow bone, quite a nice shade, and for my skin tone it certainly works quite nicely for those two purposes. Next up we have a matte, the first matte in this grouping, and this is actually from the Colored Rain Cheers to the Beauty palette, and it is called Powder Room. So let's swatch Powder Room. Now this is going to just disappear on my arm, I bet you. Oh no, not too bad. Okay, it's a very light color, so I'm just going to double swatch. It's kind of a beigey peach. There we go. Good start, I think. We are going to go for the third shadow in the row here, and it's a very kind of an antique gold looking shadow, and it's again from Cheers to the Beauty, and it's called Nightingale. It's one of my favorite colors from the Cheers to the Beauty palette, although who am I kidding? All of the shadows in the Cheers to the Beauty palette, which unfortunately is discontinued, they're all beautiful. But at the same time, Colored Rain overall has beautiful shadows. Okay, here we go. Here is Nightingale. Tell me that's not awesome. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to quickly wipe my hands, and we're going to get into the second row of 3. Another matte. This one is from Clionadh Cosmetics, and it is Toasty. And Clionadh has some very nice buildable, blendable mattes. I like what they have. Okay, so Toasty is next. Look at that, hey? Yeah, I always say that mattes don't always swatch well, but I have to say Clionadh mattes do a good job. I don't even think I'll double swatch this one. I think it's doing quite nicely. Okay, that's Toasty. Oh, and the next one, I don't even have to look it up. It's Ruin. I'll just make sure that I'm not lying. I am not. This is Ruin from Clionadh Cosmetics as well. It is a fabulous color from their Harvest Moon collection, I believe. And it's makes me think of like an antique gold. It's got a green undertone to it, but makes it look so good. And so we have 5 of the colors so far, and it's just looking so nice. And then here's another one, Cheers to the Beauty, that I don't even have to look at which palette it is, and it's called Rose for some reason. I don't know why it would be called Rose, but it's called Rose. So we're gonna go with this one next. I'd be more apt to call it Liquid Gold or something. So right next to Rune, we're going with Rose. I kept looking back to see if I had the wrong name because it just seemed so weird. And that, of course, is to duplicate the iconic, super, super bright gold in the Honey palette. So we've got 2 rows done, and we're going to go for the 3rd row. There are a couple mattes here, but the first one is not. The first one is the Chromatic from the 39A, Dare to Create from Morphe. And this is one that when I used it, I kind of went, whoa, it really has some power to it. I could see it on the outer lid. It has a real strong statement as a color, or makes a strong statement, I should say. There we go. So you're seeing how it's kind of progressing here. All right, and a nice residual on the finger. Next up, we are going to go with, I have the palette backwards. Okay, here we go. This is another matte. Actually, we're going to finish with 2 mattes. And this matte is a bit of a cooler matte. And this is from Juvia's Place, and it's called Fulani. So, Fulani. I just took out all of my palettes and tried to figure out what I could pick. So this is Fulani. You'll see kind of a deeper, cooler tone than the warmer color over here. I think I'm going to double swatch Fulani. It didn't really come through quite as much as I would like. And the other one, as a reminder, was Toasty from Clionadh. There we go. I don't know if it's coming through on camera. At least it's not so much on the viewfinder, but definitely warm, definitely cool. And that's what it looks like on the finger. A little bit of a pink undertone in it as well. Peachy pink. And finally, this one. And this one is to duplicate the last deep matte in the Naked Honey. Oh yeah, oh gosh, which one is this? This is the That's Tempting from the 39A Dare to Create from Morphe. That's Tempting. It's very, it looks very pigmented anyway. And I was comparing these to the swatches that I saw for the Naked Honey, and I don't rely on the colors in the pan because, I'll just double swatch this, because that really doesn't tell you what the shadow is going to look like on the skin. And there we go. So here is the full set of 9 shadows that I selected as a dupe for the Naked Honey, and I want to do a look with these. And like I said, I could have done 12 or 16 shades, or 14 shades, I should say, but I felt like this would be enough to get a look going. So I'm going to look at these a little bit and decide what I'm going to do here. Because of that really popping gold, I really feel like I need to use this one. And I think I also want to do a little bit of the antique side of things. And I'm just going to do a little test on my hand here to make sure that I like how these are coming together. Okay, here's what I think I'm going to do. I thought I was going to use this one on the inner to center lid, but no, I'm going to use that as an accent, almost like a halo eye. I'm going to use Rune on the inner lid, and then this one on the outer lid, and this one is, again, is it Chromatic? Come on. No, this one is from Cheers to the Beauty. It's Nightingale. Nightingale, and the other one is Chromatic. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use Rune on the inner lid Nightingale on the outer lid, and then use this one in the middle. So let's get right into it. But I think that, given I'm going to use those colors, I think I'm going to use Toasty in the crease. So this one and these three is what I'm going to go after. Okay, we have our plan. Let's get right to it. I'm going to go in with a not too big of a crease brush to go right into Toasty, which is this one right here. And I'll use that trusty mirror on this Tarte palette. And I will do one eye and then speed through the other eye so that you don't have to watch the whole process. I did set my eye primer. I used eye primer, which is the NYX eyeshadow base in 03. And then I set my primer with a very light Makeup Forever color, just a light beige. I don't have the color off the top of my head, but I thought I would just let you know what's on my eye to begin with, if it matters to you. And I do like to go up the brow to the brow a little bit on the inner lid. It's just something I like to do. Okay. Gosh, that was effortless, right? Love that. Whatever's left on my brush, just going on the bottom. Okay, I think we are good to go in with Rune. So I'm going to do Rune on the inner to center lid and then do Nightingale on the outer to center lid and then put the gold right on top, called Rose. We'll do that right on top. Yeah, and for Rune, I'm going to start off with a precision brush and finish with my finger, I think. Do you ever look at your brushes and think, oh, it's right in this container. I can find it really easily. And you look and you look and you look and you realize it was right in front of you? Yeah, that just happened. Okay, I'm using this precision brush. It's the multitasker brush from Smashbox. Like I said, I'll finish up with my finger, but I don't want to go straight in with it because I could get messy. Oh, by the way, if you are curious about everything else that is on my face, because I obviously am not barefaced, you can find all the makeup I'm using today in the description box as usual. Okay, now I want to make sure I'm going high enough. I never seem to go high enough when I watch my videos afterwards. I have to realize my crease is higher up than I think it is. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's go in with the finger just to make sure that it pops as much as it should. So I put it right on my finger. Good, and I'm going to go in with the precision brush just to go up a little bit more one last time. And now I'm going to go straight in with this brush into Nightingale, which is this one right here. Actually, yeah, I'll go in just to set the crease parameter, and then I'll go in with my finger. I find Nightingale applies much better with the finger. Okay, back in with the finger. And I think I'm going to go just a little bit on the lower lash line with what I have left of Nightingale, being very careful not to go too far down. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm just going to blend out a little bit back with my crease brush, back into Toasty, to just make sure that any of the harsh edges are taken care of here. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And we're going to take care of the brow bone. And for the brow bone, we are going to use Pearlfection. This guy right here. And for that, I'm going to use a fluffy brush that I usually use for the brow bone. It's this guy, which is called a contour shadow brush, but I really like it for the brow bone. Starting off with just a little bit, and we can always build up. I think that looks pretty good, right? Now, for the pièce de résistance, we are going to go in to this one, Rose, in the center, on the center lid. And I'm going to use my ring finger, going right into Rose. And let's hope I don't mess it up. I'll add just a little bit more. That is cool. If you look at my eyelid, from center lid to outer lid, it actually looks like it's one color with just a bit of a gradient. And I think that looks really good. So those three colors go really, really well together. I am going to do the other eye. Like I said, I'll speed it up, add a little music for you, and then we will talk about what I'll do after the eyeshadow is on. Okay, mission accomplished. I think that the eye look is looking pretty darned good. I am now going to be looking for liner and mascara to finish up the look. And I'm going to reapply what I have on my lips, which is Marquisette from Sephora. Let me show you. I decided to go with a gold lip gloss because it just seemed to fit. It's a gold theme today. So I'm just going to reapply that, and then I'm going to go dig into my liners and pick what it is that we're going to use to finish up the look. So let's just put a little bit of Marquisette on. I think it's really, really flattering and tastes good too. I think it's discontinued, but Sephora overall comes out with really great lip glosses. I highly recommend them. And gold is one that will appear on a regular basis, so you can look out for it. It's called the Gloss Mirror, just in case it makes a difference. Okay, here is what I'm going to do as far as liner and whatnot. I decided to go with the liner called Stash from Urban Decay. And I think it's going to pick up some of the green that is in Rune. that green undertone. I think that that's going to look really, really nice. So we'll do that. If you're curious, on my upper waterline, I am wearing Perversion from Urban Decay. And I'm thinking that on the inner corner, I'm going to put a little bit of this, I think it's called, Space Dust. Space Dust, just to make it pop just a little bit more. So I'll put that on the inner corner. And then for the upper lash line, I'm going to use the Fierce Flicks from Ciate. It's a very nice black liner. And then finally, to finish it off, I'm going to use the Hourglass Mascara and the Annabelle Skinny on the lower lash line. I'm going to go do all of that and come right back. And here is the final look. I used everything I said I would use, and I also used Perversion, what little bit of that pencil I have left, on the upper waterline again, just to get it back to a full black. And I really, really like this makeup look. It makes me feel like I have the Naked Honey palette. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Once again, just here are the colors that are my selected dupes, 9 of, I think it's a 12 or 14 pan palette. I'm really happy with them, and just take a look at a couple of videos coming up over the next few days, because I'm going to be doing swatches of a given gold palette, and I'm also going to be showing you all of the dupes that I've come up with. Not dupes, all of the gold colors that I've come up with in my collection, to inspire us all to keep shopping our stash and rediscovering what it is that we already have, because very often in a palette there's only 1 or 2 colors. There are only 1 or 2 colors, maybe a handful, that speak to us. It's never the whole palette. So if we can find the colors that we're lusting after and realize we already have them, how awesome is that, right? Do you have some dupes? Did you find some for the Naked Honey? If you do, I would love to hear your comments below. And what do you think of this eye look? Do you think it turned out well, not so well? Do you have some suggestions for me? Whatever you would like to share, I would be happy to hear. I thank you for your time. I appreciate it every single time. And I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.